Let me welcome Anna Crumley with Studio A. Folks, please put your hands together for Anna.
Okay, this was a short commercial that I had made just for today's presentation, and we're going to actually use, I have a show that I'm producing next week, and we're going to use that as an outro, so that's a little commercial I put together. It was a reel of all of my video clips, and I have a videographer, and he comes in and does video work for me, and I use those videos at the beginning and outro of my show. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know everybody here today. My name is Anna Crumley Nelson, and I'm the owner, director, main choreographer at Studio A Dance Conservatory, and I'm going to give you a little background. I'm a Sedalia native. And my business adventure, I think, began when I was 6 years old, and that was my very first dance class. I can remember in first grade, my teacher had me write out 3 things. It was a writing assignment, 3 things you want to be when you grew up. And number 1 was to be a dancer, of course, and that was pretty easy for me. Number 2 was to be a dance teacher. And number 3 was to be a nurse, and I think that was because that was the next girliest thing that I could think of in my mind. And so, number 1, the teacher came over and read my paper, and she was like, oh, dancer. And I think to the normal human, a dancer is kind of on the line of a professional athlete, a Disney princess, or a celebrity. You know, it's really out there. It's hard to pursue. It's hard to make money and to have a career being a dancer. And so I danced through grade school, middle school, and high school, and I was in a pre-professional company in Kansas, in Overland Park. I was in the Kansas Regional Ballet there. And then I further pursued my degree in dance with a BFA from Stevens College, and I was on scholarship, a dance scholarship to attend there. After college, I was injured in my junior year, and so that put in perspective the performing aspect, if I was going to go on to New York and perform, or LA, or if I was going to do pedagogy, it was just teaching. And so I implemented dance in the public school systems in South Kansas City. I wrote the curriculum, and I submitted it to DESE. They approved my curriculum to teach dance, and I did that for a few summers. And so I fell in love with children. I fell in love with teaching. And so I got a phone call. I was doing choreography. I was judging dance competitions, and I was studying other businesses, other dance studios, and how they did things, what I liked, what I didn't like. And so I was taking notes, mental notes, and preparing for my perfect plan. I got a phone call in 2009. I graduated in 2007 after 3 years and 2 summers of Stevens program. It was my father, and he said, hey, Anna, your mom has been in a horse accident, and her vertebrae in her back burst, actually. And so I came home immediately and took care of her for about a year and helped my family, and I fell in love with this community. And I think that's so important as a business owner, that you're not only passionate about what you are doing and in love with what you're doing, but also that you love the community that you were involved with doing this in. And I love Sedalia, and I thought there was a definite need for the youth here to have proper dance education, because I think there's a difference. They taught us in college about, they called it Dolly Dinkle School of Dance. That's anybody can put up a dance studio because you like dancing or you were on the dance team in high school or whatever. But there's a lot more that goes into it, and I was trained professionally on how to teach students and how to dance professionally myself, and so. Anyways, I started the business plans, writing out the numbers I would need, how many students I would need to break even for my lease. We found a perfect spot, and we're still there in the Preferred Properties building. We've recently outgrown that, so that's been a blessing. But my family supported me through everything. I was able to, financially, they helped me out at the beginning, and I was able to pay them back within the first 6 months of production of opening the doors in 2010. Currently, I have about 150 students that come through my program each year. I follow the school district calendar, so it's about 9 months, and then I do two summer intensives in June and July. Also, since opening, I have a pre-professional company like I was involved in. This was a dream come true to be able to offer this for my students. It's for the students that aren't just my rec kids, my recreational dancers, the ones that have that drive and the passion as I did as a child, and they train 2, 3, 4, some 10, 12 hours a week with me. I'm the sole teacher, so that can become a challenge, and I'll get to that in a little bit in my struggles as a business owner. But I teach about 150 students, like I said, and we're growing. And I have a pre-professional company it's an audition group. 40 students are in it this year. We will go to competitions. We perform around the community. They're all cast in the Nutcracker with principal roles. And then we have a spring show as well. Also, in the last 2 years, another dream of mine, I started a group in my studio called Studio A Gives Grace. And with this is, I believe that not only can I give back through my gift of dance and teaching, and my students can do the same, but also that we can serve our community, not just with a performance, but with hands-on. We go and we offer our time at the food pantry or Samaritan's Purse, and I've taken them to the Veterans Home. We have a partnership with them. We're actually getting ready to go play bingo with them this weekend with my students on my company. And last year at my recital, we raised over $4,000 for the Missouri Veterans Home. So each recital, I have a huge fundraiser charity option for us, and so that's what Studio A Gives Grace, and we're hoping to expand that. We offered our time with the Boys and Girls Club, which I feel is so important. Is that it? Okay, to give back to, I'm going to go over my struggles real quick, though, and I'll wrap it up. My struggles as a business owner has been time management. Since there's one of me, it's hard to do my taxes, do the business planning, order costumes, choreography, teach 25 hours of dance a week, and on the weekends I give private lessons or we're working on shows. So that's been hard for me to balance my time, not get too worn down so I can be the best person and best version of myself. Taking things, client relations is hard when you're dealing with women in general and dance moms. Personal versus business. I've really figured that out in the last few years. Not everything is personal, and not everyone is going to like Studio A, and not everyone is going to like Miss Anna, and that's okay. I am a choice. You can come. I offer a service, and so I've been figuring that out. And it's hard when you're very passionate about something to not take it so personal. Community support, and that's something I could use your help with here today. Community support. I found it's very hard in this town to break into the clientele of people coming and supporting our shows. I have a large following. My students here today, some parents are here today to support me, which I greatly appreciate that. And I have a following, but I'm trying to break into the whole community. We advertise social media a great deal, and Instagram, Facebook. I have a website. And we do the newspaper, we do radio ads, different things, but it's really hard to get someone to come to the show. So on the table today, I have my flyer, which is our upcoming event, which is next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We have 2 shows that we're offering, and it is called The Tale of the Nutcracker. We've done this for the last 5 years. I've also produced that show. And on the back of that flyer, you'll see It's on the big ads. A promo code for you. So because you came today, you can go to my website. You'll go halfway down on the page, and then you'll click purchase tickets, and we use an online ticket broker. You'll select that, and that's a promo code for you to receive 1 free ticket to our show. So I hope that you come and support my amazing students. Another need I have is facility. We've outgrown where we're at, but it's really hard to find a safe spot here. We were going to go downtown. I teach ages 2 to 18, and I've even taught some college classes here for State Fair for ballet and jazz. And so we're just looking for a spot, a perfect spot. And so we need a piece of property. And I need it to be affordable with what I do. And so I found it very difficult to find a piece of property that's going to work for our needs. And so we've been searching for about a year and a half now, pretty seriously. So I could use your help with that. I've talked about the upcoming show promo code, and I told you the explanation in my video. My 5-year goal, I'm always having goals. Each year I set several goals for my life and my business, and so we hope to grow. I hope that I can add on to my faculty. I have students that are dance majors now, and I see a lot of upcoming dance majors just like I was. I hope that they can come back. I hope that they can join my team. I hope that we can inspire others with not only being the best dancer, but the best human that you can be. It's really important in what I'm trying to teach. And so I hope to grow with my faculty, and I hope to grow within a facility here and just go above and beyond of all of the things that I've already done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Now we're going to open up the floor for questions and answers for Anna.
Kind of covered, yeah.
I hear about your studio all the time. I can't believe how many people I know that dance for Studio A. Is this a business that is scalable, or do you aspire to scale? I mean, do you think someday I'll have a location in Columbia, in Fairfield, in Springfield, or is it something that is that even a doable deal? Because there's so much of this is about Miss Anne.
Yes, sure. I've actually thought about that because my sister lives in Belton. And so I was brainstorming, hey, I could have a second location in Belton because she's a principal there. She knows a lot of students. And I thought, boy, I could make this work. And I think if I had more of a bigger faculty, I could, but it is based on me, and I pride myself, and I'm about quality versus quantity. I know a lot of studios, and a lot of my friends that I even graduated college from that have the same business I do, they have 600 plus students, and they don't know the name of more than 100 of them. And so that's something I do not want. I want to know, and I want to be hands-on. I would rather 5 students, and those to be the 5 best students I ever have, rather than having 500. So to me, it's about quality, and I think that shows through my work, and I think that will, the longevity of my business, I think, will stand the test of time through that. But yes, I would first like to grow here, and then possibly expand if I have a larger faculty and people that I can trust to teach dance, because not everyone has the skills to teach dance appropriately, and so. Yeah, so I'll start here and hope to grow here first, and then to expand.
One of the things you mentioned you touched on was time management. Your need for help.
Yes.
Is there a direct relationship between trying to micromanage your business or trying to find the help? And if you're trying to find the help, how can we as a community help you try to find that perfect person that you're looking for?
I've gotten a lot better in the last, I think, couple of years. Jessica's on my team right there, Jessica Girl, and asking for help. I am kind of a micromanager, wanting things to be all perfect and aligned. So I've gotten a lot better of saying, hey, and I have a lot of moms that are very creative and hands-on. So I've gotten better at asking for help from the people that are within my program. But I don't know how. I guess advertising, getting word of mouth is big for me. My main focus right now is getting people to support our shows, because there's nothing like a dancer when you see the whole audience is full. 732 seats over at the Heckert Performing Arts Center is what it fills. There's nothing like seeing 732 people out there. And so far we've gotten close, but we've never sold out a show yet. And so that's something just so unfortunate because the kids are so talented. And so my father is a big help for me as far as business plans and the taxes and things like that. So I reach to him a lot, and my family has been a great help. But like I said, I hope to add on to a faculty that have the same dreams and aspirations as I do. So did that answer the question? Ish. Okay. Yes.
Anna, what are you looking for? What are your needs in a new facility? Number of square feet? You said a safe area.
Yes, and a safe area. A lot of my kids are from out west, and so my location now works really well because the parents can just drop and go home and pick them back up. So downtown, I didn't feel was as safe as we wanted that I want it to be right now, due to lighting and due to what's down there for my students. I have a two-year-olds that run out to their cars, and I'm like watching the cars like a hawk, like parent pickup. And so I know every car that a kid gets into. And Miss Cynthia, my mom, she works at the front desk. And so anyways, I'm very protective of my students. So downtown really wasn't an option for me at this point. So we are looking out west. I just need clear space, open, clear space, 10,000 square feet. I want to be able to have a couple of classrooms. I want to be able to have a fitness class going on so mom can work out while little Megan is dancing or what. So I need a second classroom. I'm offering voice lessons right now, piano lessons too. And those are not in my studio. They're at an outside location. And so we've been doing that kind of networking that way. But we just need open, no partitions, just open space. And that's been really hard to find. If the ceilings are too low, there's a lot that goes into it. We put a floating floor in for safety. And so we need at least 12 to 14 foot ceilings. And I want to be we've been doing tumbling too now. And so anyways, we just need an open, large building. So we've talked about just building our own, and making a facade around a big metal building and putting a facade. And but the zoning it's quite expensive to zone the building. And once you get the property and everything, that's been the hard struggle for me to be able to financially afford the building, all of the zoning that goes with it, and then purchasing the property itself, the land. Sedalia, I feel like multimillionaires live here because it's extremely expensive to purchase anything. But did that answer your question? Okay. Yes.
I don't see a price on the Nutcracker tickets.
Yes.
If your focus is on selling the tickets, what kind of pricing strategy, and do you think that plays a big part in getting people in our community there to the show?
Not necessarily. They're $10 for a ticket for this, and when you go to the website, you can see that. I try to stay competitive with other dance studios and theater events that are around this area, and I'm actually the least expensive. Tickets are $15 to $20. If you go to the Nutcracker in Kansas City, which I've heard our show is pretty close to the same level as theirs. Their tickets can go anywhere, you're paying for the building itself and everything else and the evening event in Kansas City Ballet. But I'm pretty inexpensive as far as marketing goes. I try to stay up to date with that and not try to nickel and dime everybody. And I do give out a ton of free tickets to people that people don't even know about just to get people to come. And so I just try to stay up to date with today's times. And I also pay to rent the facility, my props and our backdrops and different costuming and things, my time. I have other girls that come back, my alumni, faculty's time. And so there's a lot of costs that goes involved. And so that also goes back into my business plan. What do I need to break even here to pay for this facility, to pay for my insurance and liability? There's a lot that goes into it, so. Yes.
You mentioned that your next goal, as it were, is to get more people to fill up the Hecker Performing Arts Center, or one of your names.
Yes.
My guess is, and this is a guy who really can't even put two steps together, most of the people that come and watch that are friends and family. What are you doing, or what do you see as your biggest hurdle to cross to get those people that aren't friends and family necessarily to come out or to want to come out and see that?
Mm-hmm. That's been my biggest question, I think, of what I can do to bring culture to this community. I think today's times we lack a lot of culture and arts, and trying to go even to support State Fair Community College, their theater program. There's not very many people that go support that. The Dom Museum, come walking through there. How many people have done that? You know, I think it's really hard in this town. There's a certain clientele. We support sporting events. I see the football stadium is packed each Friday night. Why aren't parents, why aren't we instilling the values of culture? I've tried to break into the school system and getting them bussed over. I even said I'll pay for the busing for them to be brought over and us to perform the Nutcracker for the elementary students or the middle school students. And they already were full they can't do that. I said, can we come into the school district and perform? Just do a little 10-minute dance for them and talk about healthy minds and healthy bodies, because that's something what I did for my senior thesis at Stevens. And so I said, can we break into the school district somehow with that? I've gone in and donated my time to the PE programs, teaching the kids there through dance, and it's just really hard. I don't know how I can do that. So that's been the big question for me, is how can I get this community, just in general, not even Studio A, just supporting the arts and to be cultured and wanting to go to the symphony. And so I think if we had a group, we could get together, the Arts Council, and discuss how we could change this movement. I know Liberty Center, I've tried to get with them and talk about producing some shows and things and hopes, but money goes involved, a lot of money is involved in producing shows too, so it's hard. So that's what.
No, I agree with you. Changing the culture is probably the first step.
I felt called to be here. I didn't need to be in Sedalia. I was living in Kansas City. I was going to New York, deciding, do I want to go live there? And I felt called to be here. So I've only been in business 6.5 years, and so it's not over yet. So hopefully by the end of my 40 years or however many, my legacy, I can go down as I did bring culture. So maybe I'm still going. I'm not going to stop now. So I'm on a mission for that to happen.
From how big of an area do you draw your students?
Well, I'm like age or from
How
where?
big of an area? Maybe from
yes, I have had a couple of Warrensburg, Versailles. I've had Boonville come from the lake. So all over. It's in the last couple of years, there's been a bigger draw from outside pulling in. Word of mouth is my best advertising. Moms talk, and so this little lady's gonna come because she had a great experience here. So the moms talk, and that's how been my social media is great. It's fine. Kids see me on Instagram. Hey, that's a cool pic. I want to go try a class out, Mom. So that's been helpful because kids are addicted to their phones and things now too. I've even thought about live feeding my show for a kid to be able to log in, purchase a ticket for cheaper, live feed the show. They can watch on their TV at home but there's nothing like sitting in a theater, watching it live. That's super important. So if I could break into the school system somehow, or if I don't know, if we could start from little bitties on up. The Nutcracker, some people have asked me, why do you do the Nutcracker every year? Like, we're tired of doing the Nutcracker every year. And I'm like, it's a Christmas tradition. So culture. It's just, people just, I think, aren't as educated about the arts as they could be. And that could be because art funding was pulled out of the school district, pulled out of the school systems. The funding is just not there. And so maybe we're not being taught about all the different kinds of arts. So, yes.
Could you take one of these and take enough for every kid in every school in the district?
I did that, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Last year. I photocopied them all myself. We dropped them off at every school location, St. Paul, Sacred Heart, Applewood even, all of the schools. I copied how many copies? Like thousands of copies, and dropped them because they couldn't copy for me at the school. I had to have my own copies. So I copied them all, put them in the teachers' boxes, hoping that they went home.
I don't
So-
remember receiving one last year.
Yes, yeah. So that could be why. I think we dropped them off at the office. So anyways, that could be. But we implement my sister's school district, and I know it helps because she's the principal there, but she wasn't the last couple of years. We actually travel. So we don't actually get to perform here in this town, but we actually travel to Belton and perform the Nutcracker for those students, because those are students, and especially in her school district, are ones that would never get the opportunity to see a dance performance and to experience dance. And so we give a little mission statement of why we're here: healthy minds, healthy bodies, be encouraged, do your best, be the best version of yourself, and we're going to show you that through our dance. And we talk about the Nutcracker, we read the storybook to them, the teachers are talking about it in their class, their music teacher goes over the music. So anyways, we've actually done that in the Belton School District, and we plan to continue that. We're actually going to go in January after our show this year to do it for them there. We've been able to implement it there in South Kansas City. So that's just a dream of mine to be able to get to do it here. Because I know there's so many kids that will never have the chance to dance. And so that's why I go to the Boys and Girls Club. And that's another goal, future goal, is to be able to be in the schools or be in an after-school program. And like the Misty Copelands, she was in the Boys and Girls Club, and they came in to teach dance, and that's where it started for her. And I hope to do that for a child. So we're hoping to sponsor some kids. Things like that are in the works, but these are just goals. Oh, and Reese is here. Reese, you want to stand up? Reese is a student of mine. She's in my company, and she is the Snow Queen in the Nutcracker. So if anything, come support her, because she's beautiful. She's a beautiful dancer. I think she has the same kind of goals and dreams and aspirations as I did. I see a lot of myself in her. And so I've been training her for the last 6.5 years, and she's going to do big things with her life. So you might get her autograph now, because she's going to be pretty unstoppable. She's a great student. So if you have any questions, and her mom, Mandy, is there, and Miss Jessica is the mom. If you have any questions maybe for a mom who is a client of mine on how I operate, you can feel free to ask them or ask Reese. So thank you for coming today. Yes.
I might have missed it. I came in late. How many performances do you have in a year like the Nutcracker?
I have 2. We have the Nutcracker, and then we have a spring show that I produce. So in the last 6.5 years, I've produced 11 shows. Yes.
Anna, you teach your students dance, and you do that very well, and they're very beautiful, and you work very hard and spend a lot of time with your students. And with that, I would believe that comes a natural confidence that the students also learn. What additional skills might your students learn through your participating in your services that would help them with confidence and additional skills that they can utilize throughout their life?
Sure.
What are some of those?
Actually, there's a statistic that a lot of dancers, they're hired at banks because they're really disciplined in their life and numbers and sequences and things like that. So I believe that I'm giving a lot of self-esteem to I think bodies are really important now, especially to little girls. Every magazine they look at, every TV show, there's some beautiful supermodel, and we're all supposed to look like that. So I think that I teach my students to love themselves for who they are, and no matter what they look like. And there's nothing like this. It was very hard for me to speak today because I'm a silent performer. I dance. But there's nothing like getting on the stage and seeing all those people, and you have 3 minutes to impress them through your dance. And you have one shot. You don't get to go back. Let's redo that and let me perform again. So you're giving them this self-esteem, and there's no feeling more magical than that when they leave the stage. And I see it. I've never, now knock on wood, I've never had a student from my ages of 2 to 18 cry on the stage. And I pride myself in that a lot because it's scary, okay? They walk out there, my little 2-year-olds, they walk out there, and I make sure that they are confident in themselves, that they know their steps. So you have to be smart, and they have to memorize, and they can all do that. And my expectation of them is really high, and their expectation of me should be even higher. So setting goals is something I also teach them, not just settling. And as a dancer, you're different every day that you come into class. So first day you came in, the next day you should be better than your first day. So you should be setting a goal for yourself. You should be disciplined in your goals. Like I talked about, I teach at the schools healthy minds and healthy bodies. What are you putting into your body? What are you putting out of your body? So it's a big package deal that I hope my students learn from me. Reese, what do you learn from me?
I wanted to add something. Miss Anna's been teaching Reese for 6.5 years, and she is not only her dance teacher, she's her mentor. She's she's the best mentor you can have for a student. If anything, I'll be like, what would Miss Anna do? And Reese thinks like that too. She, kids that go to Miss Anna do not get in trouble. You don't have to worry about what they're doing, because I know Reese follows what Miss Anna wants. And Miss Anna not only teaches, but Reese is going to go to school for dance as well and major in dance. And Miss Anna's helping her with resumes, where we're going to audition. I hope she plans to attend with us. I need her to help me with that. So she doesn't just teach, she's helping me play my daughter's future, which is what Miss Anna's doing now. So she's a great mentor. So you're not just paying her for teaching, she's life lessons, everything.
Mm-hmm. I joke to my older girls and I say, man, there's so many things that go on in their lives. And I say, well, I'm teaching you dance and you pay for that, but these life lessons are free. Because I swear I give out about 15 life lessons per one class a night. So anyways, I joke with them about that. But yes, I hope to mentor. That's why quality is important to me versus quantity. And I was talking to you earlier because I want to know every kid. And I want them to look back and say, because of her, I did this with my life, whether it's dance or not. I have several students that have gone on physical therapy or different degrees, and they're using dance to help them with that now. And only in 6 years, and all of my alumni have come back to tell me their future plans. And I support them, and I stay in contact with them and help them however I can. So again, I feel called to be here today. I feel called to be doing what I have been doing the last 6.5 years. And I know it's not because of me. My faith plays a great role in that. So anyways, I feel blessed to be here, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you for your presentation and for building your business and having your business here in our Sedalia community. I have one final question for you, and I know that you have probably answered this at some point, but to sum it up, what can we as a community do for you to support your business?
Support the arts. Support the arts. And support our youth in our community. So, thank you. Thank you.